Attention. Attention, please. May I please have your attention? If you are able to give me your attention, may I please have your attention? This is an urgent bulletin. My name is Robert Huebel, and I'm here to tell you that we on planet Earth are under attack. If you look outside your window at this moment, you may soon see beings from another galaxy coming here to bring us harm. Now, what we know at this moment is that a veritable armada of spaceships and flying saucers using technology beyond our own has come here to threaten our way of life. Not just the American way of life, the Earth way of life, I guess. Anyway, please lock your doors, bolt your windows, cram your children into a small space such as a basement or a drawer or under a couch or a futon. You can cram them in there as hard as you want. Just make sure that the aliens, if they come into your home, can't smell the blood of your children. Also, and I say this with some trepidation, it is a good time to reevaluate your marital status. By that, I mean, unfortunately, these aliens are going to take one of you. So you need to decide, are you going to be the one to get snatched by an alien and perhaps get his brains sucked out? Or will that be your wife? That's for you to decide. Or if you're not married, well, I just assume everyone is married at this point, right? If you're not married, you're fucked. Either way, really, you're fucked. Whether or not you're in a relationship has nothing to do with whether or not an alien will eat you, suck out your brains, or otherwise harm you. Now, if you have pets, kill them now. All of them. Dogs, cats, rabbits, birds, snakes, fish. Guys, if we're going to put funny sound effects in here, you know, people won't, you know, I mean, this is the end of the world, probably.
Yeah. No, I know.
Apologize for that.
Yeah, I mean, just, we're not goofing around here.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because I'm trying to tell these nice people that, you know, they got to jam their kids under a futon and kill their spouse.
No, yeah, I hear that.
And you guys are over here, you know, with your dicks in your hands.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically,
Yeah.
of course.
Well, no, we won't interrupt anymore. You just go right back into it, I guess.
As I was saying, the aliens have come here and they mean us harm. What will we do? Did I mention the part about murdering the person that you're in a relationship with?
Oh, sorry.
Guys,
Yeah, that was a rogue one. Sorry. Won't do that.
Slipped.
guys,
Sorry about that.
you know, we have a job here to do as newscasters to get the information to the people about what's happening. And God forbid if the aliens came knocking on this door, you know, I'm not going to be the one to get probed or,
I
I mean,
I don't think anyone's talking about that, right?
Well, we don't know. We don't know what they're capable of or what they're here for, what they enjoy. They may enjoy probing me or you or all of us together. Maybe they'll set us up in like a triangle shape and they'll, excuse me, I sneezed.
Bless you.
Thank you. Maybe they'll set us up facing each other in a triangle and they'll probe us simultaneously so we could, at least look into each other's eyes as we're suffering this horrible.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a human centipede probe. Like it's just a.
What is a human centipede?
You don't know what a human centipede is?
It's 1944. What? Is that a movie?
It'll come out in a couple of years. You'll see it.
Jesus. Anyway. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Oh, man. That was great. That was great.
That was great.
It was pretty great. Can I see what it looks like? Yeah. Oh, shit. This does look great. Dark Web Special Report. Welcome to the show. I'm Rob Huebel, and thanks to Wes and Carson for setting all this up. This looks really fantastic. I don't know what these people will be doing. Wait. Yeah.
They'll be here soon.
Well, I mean, the show started. When are they going to get here?
I think they're running late a little bit.
Is it going to be aliens?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe they'll step into frame there.
That would be cool. So tonight, what we're going to do. Should I just do that the whole time?
Yes.
So we have some great guests that are going to come on the show and just tell us about the time that they saw a UFO. And that's it. That's the show. We're not really going to make it funny. I mean, it might be kind of, I don't know. But if you're a guest on the show, I don't want you to think that we're here to joke around about that, because obviously, you're doing us a big favor coming on here, and we don't know what's going on. I mean, no one knows for sure. So it's the same thing. Like we do another show that's very similar to this show about ghosts, and no one knows for sure. So why not have fun and talk about it? So that's what we're going to do, is talk about it, not really joke about it, but I just want to hear these cool, scary, freaky stories about UFOs and aliens. And then we'll talk about what we all think it could be. What do you think it could be? Put it in the comments. Is that what people say? Put it in the comments? That seems fucking dumb. Reptilians. Yeah, right. Fucking idiot. Just kidding. The other thing I was supposed to tell you was that if you're watching this show live right now, it's 6:15 on Friday, the 27th of February, then congratulations. You can watch this whole show. If you're catching it later at some other date, then it's only going to be the first hour on YouTube, and then the whole thing will be on our Patreon, and that will be at this address. Look at this. Fucking alien technology right there. Patreon.com/thedarkweb. Go here if you want to be probed by an alien.
I don't know.
We can't guarantee that, right?
Well, we can't guarantee. We also don't really have the tier set up for that.
People would pay.
It's probably more than the $3 tier.
Oh, I'd pay a lot more than that.
Okay.
For me to be probed?
Oh, well, I guess we haven't
I would love
clarified
that.
that, right? We should probably clarify that.
Yeah. We should figure this out, because
Mm-hmm.
we never talked about that. Like, are we probing the people or are they probing us?
I mean, people can leave a comment.
Yeah.
Let us know which one they want. I can start a poll. Maybe.
That's a great idea.
I'll start a poll.
Who would you want to probe you? Me or Paul? Actually, Paul's not here. Paul's doing something. Maybe Paul got abducted. But we have a lot of great guests tonight coming on the show. Again, stating the premise for you so that we're all on the same page. People are going to come on and tell us about the time they saw a UFO. And the whole show is going to be in black and white. Is that right?
The entire thing?
Yeah. I love it. The aliens took away the color.
Well, serious topic calls for serious color scheme.
I agree. Is there anything that, do we want to show anything at the top or should we get into it?
Do you want to start with?
Oh, you want me to look out the window?
Well, I was going to
Should we go to our webcam?
the webcam.
To show what was outside the window when we looked out a little bit ago?
Yeah.
We can do that. Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to. What did you want to start with?
Well, you had that newsreel you
I would-
brought me earlier.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. We can go to the webcam first if you like.
Okay. Wait, listen to this. My ex-wife was probed by an alien once. Oh, his name was Juan. I don't know what that means. That sounds a little racist. I don't know why I read that out loud. I got to start not reading things out loud. Okay. So we just looked out the window. We just looked out the window. And look at what we saw. Little people with sexy bodies descending from crafts that looked like buttholes. That's not what it is, but I'm so down for this, by the way. I want it. I do want it to be.
We all want it.
I feel like we're right on the cusp, right?
I think we're closer than we've ever been.
We're close, right?
We're close. There's enough people saying at least.
I mean,
there is
Obama.
something.
Obama. Am I on camera?
You've been on camera this whole time. I forgot to tell you.
I'm looking at these aliens. I loved how. What was that? Was that on Pod Save America? Where did Obama say that? He just like dropped that very casually the other day. I'm sure you guys saw that. Obama was being interviewed, and someone said, "Are there aliens?" And he very casually said, "Oh, there's aliens, yeah, but I don't know where they are. I haven't seen them." Blah 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 blah. And then he like ran past that and started talking about like they're not at Area 51, like that I know of.
Also, the majority of the poll would like you to probe them.
Wow. Okay. Well, that changes things. The majority of the poll.
Yeah.
And the poll was done scientifically?
YouTube is an accredited association.
It's pretty scientific. Okay. If
Yeah.
that's what the public wants, they want me to probe them.
The three options were probe you, probe Paul,
Uh-huh.
Rob probe you.
Okay.
They voted Rob probe you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell my wife I'll be home late because I got some probing to do.
Oh, we're knocking it out now.
We're going to do it now. Yeah, so I feel like Obama said that. And also just with the Disclosure movie coming out, I feel like it's just happening. We're like closer than we've ever been. And then, of course, fucking dumb Trump said, he's going to try to. What's going to suck is that Trump will be the fucking one to be like, yep, and here's an alien. And, like bring out an alien. And so he'll be remembered for that.
And he'll take credit for
He'll take credit for that, yeah. Whatever. But I do feel like, oh, here's the interview. Okay, not Pod Save, yeah.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
I love it. I love it so much.
I feel like that guy buried it. He just kind of went on and didn't.
I know. There's probably a tendency when you're interviewing a president to like keep it moving and keep it light and not like be like, whoa, what do you, you know? But
I
you
mean,
and me, we would.
when he eventually comes on this broadcast,
Yeah.
I think you can feel free to really get into
I'm going
it.
to go after it. I'm going to really hold his feet to the fire and get to the bottom of this. Shout out to Brian Tyler Green. Is that who did that? Yeah. Okay. So let's just get into it. I want to hear some of these stories, right?
We don't have anyone in just yet.
Oh.
We're still waiting.
Anna's not here. Anna, get in here. She's in the chat. I see her hanging out. Dodger Blue to you. Get in here.
Hop on in.
She's hanging out in the chat. We could also email her.
Oh, wait. Here she is.
Oh, look who it is.
Hang tight.
All right, here we go. Our first guest. Beaming in from across the galaxy. Please welcome from Los Angeles, California, Anna. I don't know her last name. Yes, yes. Hello.
Is that better? That was weird. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Whoa.
Spooky, right?
Whoa.
Spooky.
The vibes are strong tonight.
A lot of strong.
Probes are strong tonight.
Retro.
Wow.
That's right. The probes are strong tonight. I'm going to tell my wife that. Hi, Anna. And
Hi.
you've come on our show before to
Yes.
talk about other topics. But when I put this out on social media, I just said anyone. And depending on how tonight goes, we'll probably do this again and try to find more people. So I always say, if anyone has really seen something and they want to talk about it, come on and we'll talk about it.
Yep.
So you responded and said that a long time ago you saw a bunch of stuff in LA. You live in LA, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And tell me that story.
Okay. So, and this, I want to preface this because when I told you I had that story, you were like, don't fuck around. This
Yeah.
is not a joke. And
Well,
so I was like, no, I would never. So
yeah.
this is like, honest to God, a true story.
Great.
Okay.
That's what I want because,
So-
obviously, when we do this, there a lot of people are, because, we traffic in comedy around here. But, for this purpose, it's cooler if it's like not someone trying to be funny. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a story that I've been waiting years to tell,
Oh my God.
basically, because nobody's ever asked me.
Oh
So,
my God. I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the summer of '99. Okay. So I'm 20 years old. I'm working for my dad in LA. It's a super normal day. And I'm in the office listening to K-Rock, Kevin and Bean.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start taking all these calls about weird triangle shapes in the sky. And I remember thinking, okay, like aliens, cool. It's 9 a.m. But they kept taking calls, like a lot of calls from people freaking out. So I went outside the office just to look, and it was a perfectly clear day.
And
No
what part of
clouds.
town? What part of town were you in?
In LA. So my dad had his office in Montebello, which
Okay.
is maybe 15 minutes from downtown LA, which
Yeah.
is where people were like, look at that. So I went out, like I said, super blue sky, and I saw them. They were three blackish, grayish dots, and they were super far away, but they were just like hovering. So I go into rational brain mode, right? Okay, birds, that's a weird formation. Remote control plane, maybe military something, I don't know.
Balloons.
But they weren't moving like birds. They weren't drifting. They were just there together. And then they start disappearing, like blinking out and then reappearing, all three, like information. And then they did that for a while, long enough for me to go, this is probably dumb, to, okay, wait, what is that? And then all three of them at the exact same time, they just whoosh, they just like straight up gone. Like not flew away, just like snap your fingers and they're gone.
Invisible.
Okay. Invisible, done. They were there, now they're not, what the hell? So here's the part that makes it really hard for me to dismiss. That same night, about 7 or 8, it's dark, and I stopped to grab food on my way home. And when I come out of the restaurant, there's a crowd in the parking lot, and everyone is looking up towards downtown LA. And there they are again, the 3 dots, but they're glowing. They're glowing like yellow to orange, almost like pulsing. And these are not subtle. Like people are yelling, people are pointing, like no one's calm. This is not just like one person hallucinating. And they're hovering just like they were earlier. And then they start glowing brighter, like lava red. and somehow they look bigger, and then all three of them at the exact same time gone, and the whole parking lot just screamed like full on what the hell was that energy. So I get home, I turn on channel 4 in LA, and they're reporting it, which weirdly makes it both better and worse. Better because I'm not crazy, but worse because nothing, like no explanation, no follow-up. It just evaporated from culture like it never happened. So I've been sitting on that since 1999.
Whoa. Okay. So I have some questions. How big how big did they seem? Like, was it just 3 dots in a triangle and they were at the same distance, or did they come closer or further away?
They were far enough away where you were squinting and you're like, that's not a plane and that's not a bird. I don't know what that is, but it's some sort. Is it a balloon, like a weather balloon, or like, I guess now you might be like, maybe it's drones. It kind of looked like that, but they were way too far away to distinguish any actual shape.
And this was 99, you said?
This was 99, yeah, and it was a big deal. People were calling in, freaking out on the radio. They reported it on the news, and I'm like, and then it disappeared.
Have you ever seen anything online about it? Like, did anyone ever follow up about it?
I looked for a little while after that happened because I remember there used to be a couple of websites that kept track of people actually spotting weird things in the sky. And you could go, it's like a registry almost. And there was nothing there for a long time. And I think I also checked, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago or something, and there was nothing. So it's so hard for me to discount it because I don't know what I saw. I just know I saw something that didn't behave like anything I had seen before twice in one day. And a lot of other people saw it too.
And when you saw it later on at night when you came out of the restaurant, was it in the same part of the sky or had it moved to a different part of the sky?
No, it was in the same exact part of the sky, which freaked me out because I didn't know what everybody was looking at first. I was kind of like, oh God, what's happening? And then everybody was pointing. And I remember feeling like, what the hell? That's the same 3 like formation dots that I saw in the daytime, except it's pitch black now and they're glowing. Like, what? I don't understand. And everybody was just freaking out.
That's so crazy. Did you ever, like, were you with a friend or anybody that you've kept up with? Or, like, in other words, have you ever followed up with anybody else? Like, do you remember that time we saw that fucking thing?
So, unfortunately, I was by myself. However, my best friend, who lived like 5 minutes away from me, she called me. And so she didn't see it with her own eyes, but she heard about it on the radio. And then we talked. And then right after the thing at night happened, I called her and she was like, I'm watching it right now, like on the news. But the news didn't have, all they had was a shot of a live reporter in downtown LA. They didn't have a shot of like the actual things in the sky. They were just reporting that, oh, there's chaos and there's crazy stuff happening.
Yeah.
But they, you couldn't tell that there was anything there. But she was like, that's weird. I'm like, I saw it twice.
That is so cool. Yeah. I wonder if you went back to like in the files of the news people at that time. It was 99. Like, I wonder if anyone ever followed up on that. That's so interesting. And do you?
Yeah, I'd like to kind of dive deeper into it a little bit. I'm sure I could find some websites out there that sort of track things like this that a lot of people saw, and then all of a sudden, it just is nobody talks about it anymore.
Right, right. Did you have you ever seen anything since then?
I can't. No, not really. Not in the same way I saw it in '99. Maybe every once in a while I might have been like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm not sure what that is in the sky, but nothing like I saw that day and that night. It was just those things didn't act the way things in our world should act.
Yeah.
And it was like almost comical, like rubbing your eyes, trying to be like, oh my God, like, do I need new glasses or something? And nope, other people saw it, complete strangers in a parking lot. That's the part that I can't get out of my head. I might have dismissed it if it was just me and like people calling in on the radio, but there were 20, 25 of us. I knew nobody there. We were all just out at night. Everybody's looking at the same thing in the sky, pointing at the same thing, and just like being hysterical about it.
So wild. All right, Anna, great job.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on the
you.
show. Thank you. And we'll
Thanks for
see
having
you
me.
and talk to you soon if you don't get abducted after this. We hope you won't be abducted. But we can't guarantee it. We cannot guarantee that you won't be abducted. Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one to start off with. LA, where we live, the threat is real. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. My wife works for NBC. She does the traffic report, and I'll look back over her files and see if there was any traffic in the skies back in 1999. That is fucking wild, though. Okay, let's talk now to John Tenny. Everybody knows John Tenny. Hi, John. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Rob?
I'm really good. You're in black
I
and
feel
white.
like we're dueling newsmen here.
I love that you and I both dressed up for the occasion. John Tenny, we've talked to you a few times when we've talked about other spooky stuff like ghosts and paranormal stuff. And you sort of are, I feel like, one of our go-to experts in this domain. And tell people kind of who may not know you sort of what you do and kind of like how you sort of found yourself in this world.
Sure. I started researching as an assistant for someone who studied the assassinations of RFK, JFK, MLK, and that, strangely enough, led into researching UFOs and flying saucers. And then that led to what I ended up doing the majority of my life, which is investigating ghosts. But it just encompasses all paranormal phenomena because no one really has a good answer for any of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first UFO case that I investigated would have been like 1990.
Crazy.
It's like the first time I talked to someone who said they were abducted.
Whoa. Well, tell me, I know you have a lot because you and I were sort of DMing about that, but yeah, let's drill down on that story maybe. Like, tell me about that person, or if you want to talk about your own story too.
The last person that you had on, this is a really typical thing for people to see. Like, when they first look at something, they'll say like, oh, is that birds? Oh, is it a kite? Oh, is it a plane? But their brain recognizes that it's not flying in the right way. And then they almost seem to wink in and out of like visual perception. And so, yeah, this was one of the first cases. The first time I ever saw what I thought was a UFO, it did the same thing. I was looking up at the moon. I was just outside. I used to work at a Kinko's on midnight shift.
Awesome.
And I was out back taking a break, and I was watching the moon, and I saw this thing that I thought was a bird, and I was like, it's not flying like a bird. And then I thought it was a plane. And then I'd been researching UFOs for like 5 years by that time. And the last thing in my brain was that it was a UFO. And then I realized, oh, it's like silent. It's not making noise. It's flying. This is a UFO. And by the time it got into my brain, it was already gone. Like I couldn't see it. And so when you talk to UFO people who say that they've been abducted or they've had experiences, there is this concept of like your mental state is being blocked by the object or the people in the object.
Yeah, there's just like you're somehow being overwhelmed, either like just visually and sort of panicky, or maybe there's some sort of other thing that's being employed on you. I don't know.
Yeah, there does seem to be almost a telepathic connection sometimes with UFO sightings and flying saucers. I tell people all the time, if you think that you're really having a flying saucer experience, if you're seeing a UFO or UAP, whatever we're calling them these days, like look at it, acknowledge it in your mind, and then say like, are you really a UFO? Like, can you move toward me? And in a lot of cases, it will change the way that it moves to come towards you.
That's so wild. Yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of videos of that where people have like laser pointers and they're like out in the desert and they'll like do it on a object and that thing will like come closer or like change its direction or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. And it does also seem to have an effect. Like when you start thinking about UFOs, it's almost, I mean, you hear people say all the time, like, if you think about ghosts all the time, you're going to start increasing paranormal activity. It seems to happen with UFOs too. People will talk about it, and then 3 days later, they'll see something super strange in the sky, or they'll get the feeling that they've had some kind of abduction phenomena happen to them.
Whoa.
So the scariest thing that ever happened to me, I was dating a woman, and we were dog sitting at a different house at her friend's house, and her and I had been talking about UFOs, and she was not into it at all. She's like, I don't like what you do. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be a part of it at all.
Right.
And so we took care of the dogs and we went to sleep that night. And there was this almost like flashbulb burst in the room, like someone had taken a picture of us. And it woke me up, it startled me, and I didn't want to scare her. And so I was kind of scanning the room in the dark, like, is someone in here with us taking a picture? And I kind of glanced over at her, and her eyes were wide open. And she says really quietly to me, is someone in the room with us? Did they just take our picture? And so I immediately like reached over and grabbed this the light chain that was next to the bed. The room fills up. There's no one in the room. And I got up, and right as I walked to the balcony of the bedroom, this huge flash in the sky happened, and I saw something like take off in the trees, like just beyond the parking lot of the building that we were in. It was like, still freaks me out thinking about it.
That is so wild. And did she see that? Did she react to that?
She was very scared and she saw the light burst through the window, but she hadn't gotten up out of bed because she was still scared.
Yeah.
And like, needless to say, like, that relationship was pretty much over.
That should be like a character in a movie that just like, I'm just telling you that I'm really into paranormal stuff, and they're just like, phew, phew. I'm not going to be a part of that. That's so funny. And you're living through it for real.
Yeah, it's interesting what you were saying too, though, about earlier when you were talking to Wes, I think, about how we're closer than ever.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to me as someone who's done this for 35 years, like, we always seem closer than ever. So I went upstairs in my library and stuff. So like the cover of Time magazine, I don't know if you can see this, like the cover of Time magazine in 1993 had an alien on it saying like Roswell. Popular Electronics was teaching you how to talk to aliens. National Geographic, Are We Alone in the Universe? So it seems to be cyclical, but when you have something like Obama, who has said for years, I want to know about UFOs, when he says something like, oh yeah, aliens are real, like, of course it causes a huge firestorm.
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating, man, because it's obviously, that would be the most, the gigantic leap in human understanding or awareness of, since we've been around. I mean, it would be the biggest news of all time. But it also, obviously everybody that's thought about this has figured out, like, it could also be some sort of psyop by the government to distract, or, it's the ultimate distraction also. But it seems like just with the prevalence of like military footage and like all those Tic Tac videos and like all of the credible, all of these pilots, fighter pilots and stuff like that, people that didn't really come up in the UFO community, but were sort of like dragged into it. It seems to lend it more credibility, but yeah, that must be really frustrating though, to be like, to see all these tourists like myself that are just like, oh, we're this close, and everybody else that's been doing this for years, like, well, we've been this close forever. I'm sure that's really frustrating.
It is, but it's part of why I keep doing it. Like if I was really frustrated, I would have just given up.
Yeah.
But I love being able to like see new stories appear and hearing people's stories and gathering information and data and researching these cases. And the fact that they never stop and they never go away is part of why I'm so intrigued with what's going on.
Yeah.
The
You had mentioned to me another story. Well, you can get to that when maybe someone else that you had talked to, you had another story about somebody else that you were going to tell me also. But I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, no. It's interesting because now when you were talking about all the pilots and all of the like government officials, because, you know, for the first 50 years of flying saucers and UFOs, the mindset is like, don't trust anybody that's involved with the government in any
Right.
way.
Right.
And now the narrative has shifted to like, well, your brother might have seen a UFO, but like we've got military pilots now.
Right.
And so that's a really weird flip in the ideas of it. But
Yeah.
to the point we were talking about earlier in DMs, in 1999, a gentleman called me from northern Michigan. I'm just outside of Detroit, so I'm about 4 hours away from where this guy lives. And he contacted me and said, hey, you know, the police in my city were chasing a UFO around last night. What do you know about it? And I said, I don't know anything. I'm 4 hours away from you. He had a police scanner he was listening to. So I sent multiple Freedom of Information Act requests to the police station to get their dispatch tapes. And we don't have it, we don't have it. There's no such thing. We never chased UFOs. It's not a real thing. I started calling. I found out the officers' names individually. I started calling all the officers. None of them would talk to me. And maybe about 4 months later, in a the most X-Files-y thing that has ever happened to me, I was delivered a manila envelope in the mail that just had my name and address on it, and it was postmarked from that gentleman's city. And on the police letterhead, someone had just handwritten, this is the dispatch tape you've been looking for. And there was a cassette inside the manila envelope. And when I played the tape, it's 45 minutes of the Traverse City Police chasing a UFO.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What year was that?
1999.
Wow. So when you see stuff now and, you know, more advanced footage and like what is your kind of take on this? Like, you know, I mean, we were talking earlier before the show, like it sort of feels like it's one of two things. Like it's either us or it's not us, right? Like it's like, well, we've either, you know, from everything that I've watched and read, it seems like, well, we've either retrieved some stuff that we've been able to reverse engineer, and now we're using that, and you know, and maybe Russia and China have the similar stuff or more advanced stuff, but that's us. You know, or it's not us at all. You know, it's just something from somewhere else. I mean, I get Wes and I were saying the third bucket is like it's you know, it's aliens, but they've been here forever. You know, they could be coming out of the ocean, and they've been here, and of course they've just like disguised themselves, and they're able to look and sound like us, and they're walking around amongst us. You know?
Yeah, I think there's a good blend of both of those in there. Like I do think that people are having experiences. I do think that there are probably people interacting with something that is not of this world originally. But this is also like the not really fun, exciting, or happy idea is also this. It's really good for like militaristic funding for the United States.
Oh, for sure. Oh God, of course. Yeah, it's just to like, we need some more money for the Defense Department and Lockheed Martin and Boeing and Raytheon. We have to like fully fund those guys, and just to keep the war machine moving, which keeps everything else, manufacturing and all of this other stuff moving. Yeah. And yeah, maybe that's, those things are not mutually exclusive. I mean, the two things can be true at the same time, you know?
Yeah, sure.
But that is so wild. Like, yeah, I feel like the I feel like we're close to, to just because of this administration and how, how much they want to distract everybody from everything else. And, not to make it just about the Epstein stuff, but like, I feel like Trump is just going to be like, oh, and here's a little alien guy, And, yeah, I mean, if he could, I feel like also, from everything I've read too, like the technology and the actual material that could confirm the existence of craft or aliens or whatever is not, the president doesn't need to know about that. Like, why does, that's probably just in the hands of Lockheed or Raytheon or Boeing or, and they're just like working away like, we're going to figure out what this crash was and we'll make a ship that, can also do the same sort of thing, use this sort of propulsion system or whatever. So yeah, I don't know that they would even tell Trump about it,
There's a long-standing in the UFO community. There's been this long-standing idea that like the president wouldn't know. The president is someone who at most is going to have 8 years of power, and so you don't give the keys of the kingdom to a guy who might be gone in 4 years.
Right. John, where can people find you? Like, do you go to like conferences and stuff like that? Wes, what's the big one in the desert that we're going to go to?
Contact. I want to go to Contact in the desert so bad.
I think we got to plan that.
I mean, we can also do that in black and white.
Have you been to that one?
I am actually not allowed to go to that one.
Oh, you're not allowed to go to Contact.
Yeah.
What
It
happened?
caused too many problems.
Wait a second. Problems that were caused by you, or problems that were caused by the?
I point out a lot of, and I get this a lot when I talk about UFOs and stuff online. UFOs and UAPs and all that can get kind of, it's very ingrained in politics.
Yeah.
And I point out that there's sometimes not a lot of great politics in the UFO community, and that makes people super uncomfortable.
Yes.
And
I know it is
so,
crazy.
yeah.
Like I find myself watching, when you when you watch clips of stuff and you see like, oh, there's Marco Rubio. Suddenly I'm agreeing with Marco Rubio about aliens,
Right.
Yeah, that's fucked up. But then there's like Harry Reid and people, but yeah, it does get, I can see where, suddenly you're strange bedfellows, as they say.
And there's a large group of older UFO researchers who believe that UFOs are demons.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, I bet the crossover of the, like hardcore Christian angel demon, good versus evil. Yeah, I mean, that sort of mythology seemed. Yeah, of course that would happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you? So what did you? Well, I guess you can't tell the story, but like, I would love to. I'll have to DM you to get the story about that.
Yeah, I'd like to tell you before you let me go.
No, please, no. I'd love anything you got.
So in the year 2000, I ran for mayor of my hometown, and
In
that
Michigan.
was the same at Royal Oak, Michigan.
Gotcha.
And that was the same year that George W. was running for president for the first time. And he was doing a whistle stop tour in my town to shake hands, and our local newspaper said all the mayoral candidates should go and have a moment with him, and we'll get pictures, and if one of you gets elected and he gets elected, we'll have a picture of the mayor with the president. So I went to this thing to do the photo op.
Right.
And they said, well, you're going to have a moment when he comes outside. You'll have a moment to ask him a question. So there were two other candidates. I was the third. And after we met him inside, we were waiting outside, and I was talking to this CNN crew who was there, and I was asking them how it was, and they said, oh, it's super boring. Nothing's exciting is happening. Like, this guy will never win, like, whatever. And he came out, and the first candidate asked him a question. The second candidate asked him a question. He got to me, and he remembered me. We had just met inside, and he goes, so, John, what's your question? What do you got for me? And I said, if you're elected president of the United States, would you be willing to release any and all documentation the government has on unidentified flying objects? And Secret Service grabbed me, pulled me off the line, shoved him into a car, like immediately. Like this all happens within like 15 or 20 seconds. They shove him in a car, the car takes off, and I was thrown at the feet of the CNN crew. And this guy looks down at me holding a boom microphone. He was like, well, man, that was the wrong question.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And you probably lost the election. Sorry,
I
John.
did lose the election.
Sorry, John. That's crazy that they wouldn't even let him attempt to field that question.
It happened so fast. I was shocked by like how fast people were on me. Like knocked me down. I was trying to film with a tiny little like 2000 video camera with like the big high 8 tapes in it. Stuff like that got knocked out of my hand. Like they were like, we got to get, and obviously he's a presidential candidate and they don't know who I am. Like I just might be an insane, like I might just be someone out of my head.
Yeah, they didn't know that you were being very sincere about it. That's awesome. What a great story. What a great moment in political history. John, always good to talk to you. Where can people find you?
They can find me. My website is weirdlectures.com. I have a podcast called What's Up Weirdo, so they can go to whatsupweirdo.com. Or just find me on Instagram, John E.L. Tenny. That leads to everything.
Okay, buddy. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
See you, John.
Bye.
John Tenny, everyone. John Tenny.
Amazing. What a story.
I know. That's really cool.
That's crazy that Secret Service was like, this is not a topic.
They either thought this is not a topic that he is ready to discuss, or he will say the wrong thing and completely ruin his chances as a presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Oh, we could have had a different world right there. If he had just answered the question, maybe he wouldn't have gotten elected president, and we wouldn't have had George Bush 1 and George Bush 2.
That would have been huge.
John Tenny could have stopped.
John Tenny could
George
have
Bush.
stopped George Bush. Yep.
Can you update the title of the video, please,
Mhm.
Carson, to that? Thank you.
Is our next person circling the runway?
Our next person is circling the runway, but if you wouldn't mind telling people that we're coming to the end.
Yes. Attention. May I have your attention? If you are watching... God damn it, guys. You know, you just come in so hot with the music sting and the fucking sound effects when I'm trying to...
I was trying to give you some music. I thought you knew.
No, I mean...
Yeah, you seemed a little stressed, so I thought you'd use a little
guys.
environment.
Look, we'll have a meeting after the show to debrief about how we all did
Oh,
on our
now you want to
jobs.
have a meeting.
No, I want to...
It's your
I don't
4
want to have the
hours
meeting
before the
now.
show.
I want to have the meeting
Okay.
after the show to discuss how I did, how you did, how you did. Now,
Okay.
let's just cool it with the sound effects and the fucking music. And we're back. Guys, also edit out the part where I'm yelling at you guys, because I don't want to look like an asshole on this show.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll take that right out.
I'm
Okay.
gonna write all this down, I guess.
Yeah.
Write it fucking down in your little fucking notebooks.
With Nat, yeah.
Okay,
I
go
like
back
my
to me when I'm
notebook.
smiling. Hello, and we're back. If you're watching this program on February 27th, 2026, you may watch it all live right here. We have several more guests to talk about UFOs and the UAP phenomena. If it is not February 27th, God, we're just gonna have lasers zapping all over the place, guys? Is that what we're gonna do?
It's thematic, man.
If you, okay, edit out the part where I yelled at you. And
Got it.
come back when I'm smiling.
A lot of edits.
If you're watching the show and it's not, guys, I don't even know what this is. This is a chart of nothing. Who put the chart in there?
We have a really good chart department.
But we're showing the audience a chart, and
It's
we don't even know what
information. This is info from Charter, our chart department.
the chart department sent that up. All
Chart.
right. If I do like the guys in charts, so leave it up for now.
Thanks.
Okay. Take out the part where I yelled at you. Wait, is this a video game?
It's just more charts, man.
Okay.
They've been working really hard. We got here 4
Okay.
hours ago for that meeting that you were supposed to be at.
I'm sorry, I showed up 5 minutes before we went live. All right, take all this out and come back to me right now. If you're watching the show on February 27th, live, you may watch the whole program right here on the dark web. If it's not February 27th, you can only see the first hour and then you'll have to join the Patreon right here. If you join the Patreon, you can watch the whole show because it's going to be more than an hour. We have people stacked to the max with the fucking alien stories. Guys, we can bleep it when I swear, right?
Yeah, we can make those edits too.
Okay,
It's
great.
a lot.
I'm sorry to
stacking up.
I'm sorry to make more work for you.
Yeah, you don't seem sorry.
Also, guys, you didn't tell me that my fucking jacket looks wrinkled. Jesus. All right. And when are the when's launch control gonna get here?
They're on their way.
What's the forecast? Cloudy, mild through Friday. Well, all right. That's just the forecast for everywhere, guys. We gotta think. Okay, there's other
It's a
people.
global forecast.
A global forecast. So if you're watching the show now, you can watch it live. If you're not, you got to join the Patreon and then you can watch the rest of it. Also, I should just say, if you're a member of the Patreon, me and Paul and Wes and Carson and Molly and Steve, we really appreciate it. It's really cool of you. I know that
Luke and Zoe do too.
Luke and Zoe also, to a lesser degree, Luke and Zoe. But the main group of the 6 of us really appreciate it. Because money's tight. And it's super cool that you have, given us a couple bucks every now and then to keep the show going with such high production value. What the fuck? Guys, we can't show the weather forecast in Hartford,
The weather
Connecticut.
forecast.
What?
You wanted the weather forecast.
Yeah, you're getting really pissed that we didn't
Well,
have
I was
accurate weather.
upset about this one because it seemed very generic.
Yeah,
It
so we
just
gave
says
you
for-
specific.
Okay, so now we got this big one over here. You know what, guys? I can't even figure this out. This is too confusing. Pointing is making me sweat.